Hi, this is Vikram Vivekanand and welcome to my video. And today we're going to be talking about the brand new version of Guitar Rig 6 by Native Instruments. Now, it's been a while since Native Instruments has released a new version of Guitar Rig, and it certainly seems like they've taken their time to make things better in this version. There are new amp models and there are new effects blocks that are specific to this version, and I've been playing through them for the last few days, and I must say that it's a lot easier to dial in a sweet spot if you know what you're looking for. I've been doing some classic rock kind of presets, and I've been playing along with some of my favorite songs, and it's just so simple now. They've also upgraded their user interface, and again, it just makes things a lot easier to navigate and to quickly dial in a preset. All right, so I'm going to quickly walk you through some of the presets that I used for the video, and the first preset I want to talk to you about is the rhythm sound. Now, the rhythm guitars were hard panned, they were double tracked. So I didn't want to use too much gain. It was a very low to mid overdrive kind of setting. So I used the jump amp model from Guitar Rig. And as you can see, the EQ controls are, not far away from a flat setting. And then for the cabinet sound, even though the matched cabinet module sounds really good, I prefer to use my own impulse responses. And Guitar Rig comes with the reflector module in which you can load in your own IRs. Now, I also use a small EQ mainly to filter out the lows and the highs for my impulse response. So I have a high pass filter set at 110 hertz and a high cut or a low pass at 7 kilohertz. And after that is just a small reverb. There's this RC24 module, which is, I think it's new for Guitar Rig 6. And I had this really subtle room reverb going on for it. Very easy to dial in. And that's pretty much it. But actually, hang on. Each module has additional features that you can access through this button here. And when you click that, you can see that you have certain advanced features that you can dial in if you want a little bit more control over your sound. And I tried to play around with the variac knob over here. The default setting for this amp model is 110 volts. And, we've all been talking about what Eddie Van Halen did for his tone. And a huge component of his tone was to reduce the incoming voltage to around 88 to 89 volts. And I tried that, and while I wasn't really trying to go for a sound like his, it seemed to work because it changed the compression and gain characteristics of the amp model that I was playing through. It felt a little different. And I seem to like it, so I, dialed that in and I ran with it. For the lead sound, I used the Lead 800 amp model from Guitar Rig. I don't think I need to tell you what amp this is based on. We pretty much know what it's all about. So for the lead sound, just a little bit more mids, a little less treble, a little bit more gain from the preamp. And I also use the screamer in front of it just to get a little bit more saturation and compression, because that's always helpful for playing leads. IR-wise, I used a different IR this time, and accordingly, I set my high cut filter at 6.1 kilohertz. For delay, I used the twin delay, which was set at a quarter note on the left side and a dotted 8 repeat on the right side. Again, going back to my favorite RC24 room reverb. just set. I think I use a little bit more reverb on the lead sound because, hey, it sounds good, right? And let's move on to the bass this time. I used one of the new amp models that they introduced for Guitar Rig 6. It's called the Bass Invader. And I also used a little bit of a gain boost in front of it because I was trying to not necessarily get a very driven bass sound, but just a slightly pushed clean sound, because otherwise it was sounding a little sterile. I think I was using some old strings. EQ-wise, bass, mids, I mean, it's all pretty much just corrective EQ, except for the treble, which I wanted. I think I was compensating for the old strings on the bass. Again, you just play around with all the options. You have mid contour, you have these voicing options where you cut the lows, sculpt the mids a little bit, high boost. And I must say that I was trying to go for a classic rock AC/DC kind of bass sound, and this got me there. And it took me all of 5 minutes to dial in this sound. So there you have it. I hope you got a tiny glimpse into what you can do with Guitar Rig 6. There are so many amp models and FX models in there that I couldn't possibly go into all of them in detail. That would make this a very, very long video. And you don't even need to use it only for guitars and bass. You can use it with keyboards. You can use it in your mixes. They have some incredible sounding FX blocks in there that you can use. So go ahead, play with it, and let me know your thoughts. Leave a comment in this video, and don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon.